Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Light Within the Unknown podcast. I'm Brandon,
Hi, I'm Linda.
and on this episode, we're going to be talking about our paranormal experiences at Whitehill Manor. Oh, Whitehill Mansion. My bad. Mansion, guys. Sorry, Mansion.
They all run together after a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, they do. Manor, Mansion is kind of the same thing in that manner. Get it? The little joke. Manor.
So, how many times have you been there, Brandon?
I've been to Whitehill 2 times.
Okay.
How about you?
I've been there 3 times.
Ah.
Yes.
Who'd you go with for the third time? Because I think we were
Uh,
there for two together.
yes. Two of them we were together investigating, and then I got invited by Jot Knox
Okay.
Paranormal to go. So, we've done Whitehill in the freezing cold,
Horrible.
and I've done Whitehill in the extreme heat.
Again, sounds horrible.
But at least one of the times it was regular normal weather.
I don't know. Was that the time that we went, or did no? I think we did the hot and the
Yeah.
cold ones. I think was it? Was it one of
No,
those that we went?
we investigated in the really cold weather
Yes.
at Whitehill.
Yes. I remember that.
When I was with Jot Knox, it was hot,
Oh, okay.
really hot. So the other time we went, it must have been normal weather.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know it's been a few years. That's when I was like, wait,
Yeah.
was it normal weather? Or?
Well, I think so because I don't remember it being really cold one of the times or really hot one of the times.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I know the time of us going, and it was really cold. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was not super pleasant.
No.
Don't get me wrong. It's a historical location, and they only have heat for part of the building because they're
Yes.
still doing, I guess you could say, some kind of updates, and they're doing upkeep inside the location and inside the mansion. So, with them doing that, it takes a little bit of time to get everything all back up to squared away and start running and everything else on those lines. But yeah, I remember there was heat in only the area that the historical society was in, and then there was heat in the main floor, like in where we had all of our gear for the gear room.
Yes.
Those were the only two areas for heat, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there was any in the basement or nothing upstairs.
No.
But it's weird
No.
because the basement, and a lot of people say basements are colder. Yes, basements are colder because you're underground. But it's kind of weird though, because when we were there, I didn't think the basement was super cold. I thought it was a little bit warmer than going up to the second
No.
floor and the third floor.
Basements are funny because even my basement during the summer, my basement's cooler. During the winter, my basement can be a little bit warmer than upstairs.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, it's weird. It depends how the basement I think is constructed. If it's obviously an older home compared to a newer built home.
Makes sense. That doesn't make sense.
It almost reminds me of like those summer kitchens.
Yes. Yes.
How they can determine temperature almost. Or like the kitchens in the basement.
Yep. Yeah, where they do all the cooking down there and bring the food up.
Yeah.
So from all three times, when was the most active time for you?
The most active?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've actually had one that was more active than another. We've had different activity each time. But I don't think one was a more active, so to speak, than the other.
Okay.
Because every time we've been there, it's been really active.
Yes.
I mean, maybe not every floor, Because with the bordello, we don't always get stuff. Or at least I don't always get stuff when we're in the bordello part. It's a hit or miss which floor.
Now, was
We
Timmy
got,
with you for the Bordello area? Like,
yes, the one time we went with you guys, Timmy was with us, and we used him for bait.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, did you guys use him as
Yes,
bait, and nothing did it work out in
yes,
that sense for you guys?
yes, yes. We used Timmy a lot for our trigger objects and bait because he was young, single, and we kind of just threw him in there and said, "Go at it."
I know every team has somebody. Every team does. You have to have somebody that they say, "All right, you're up. You're gonna be the bait." That's
Yeah, it
that.
depends where you're at and who
Mhm.
who you need to use
Right, right.
as
And hence
bait
that's where you had to use Timmy. He was single, young, and
and a
you know,
male.
right. Yeah, yeah, yep. And female spirits like, hey, bring it on,
Yeah,
bring them
and
on.
he went back in the bordello, and it was two other investigators that you used to have on your team, and myself up there, and yeah, he was back in the bordello by himself. Oh, sorry, that's my
It's
dog.
okay.
And yeah, he went back in there by himself. He went into one of the rooms. I don't think we got anything evidence wise, but I remember him coming out and saying, "Nope, nope, 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 nope. I'm getting touched. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not doing that. I'm getting touched, and it's not right." So yeah.
so, so kind of a little funny spinoff off of that because with you mentioning about that. Um, when I was up in that area investigating with a couple of people that we were there with from Beyond the Grave, I was up there with them investigating up on the same area, and yeah, I kind of ended up getting pulled over to that area too at some point. And so I was like, okay, it's like it is what it is. I was like, kind of in the same boat, single at the time. So, and I think somebody pointed it out. I think they're like, yeah, there's a single man right here sitting over here. Do any of the female spirits here want to, get like, have a good time? All I got to do is tell us how much. Or something along those lines. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the wording was because it's been a little bit since I listened to the audio for it. But yeah, I ended up going into that same area. Now, I didn't have any kind of the feeling that Timmy said that he had. I didn't have any of that kind of like feeling per se, but I definitely knew that there was something in there in that sense. But
Yeah, it's always a good time.
yeah, yeah, it is. Yep, yep. From that to being in the basement and having something dancing around, with making different pieces of equipment going off, from REM pods to cat balls to mag lights. I'm not sure what did you do when you were in the basement at the
When
last
we were
time.
in the basement, the last time we were there, when we got invited with by Jot Knox Paranormal, it was just Timmy and I in the basement. We had obviously the recorder going, we had the SLS camera, and I had a video going on my phone. And Timmy was playing um, period time music. We had stick figures come up on the SLS camera. I was sitting at one end of the bar, he was sitting at the other end of the bar, and he's like, "Mom, Mom." For those that don't know, Timmy on Dixieland Mystical Society, he is my son. He's been investigating with me since he was about 10 years old. So he's very knowledgeable and he just dives right in. And that's why we use him as trigger objects and bait. And he minds sometimes, but other times he goes along with it. But he was behind the SLS camera and he's like, "Mom, Mom, There's someone sitting next to you. And I'm like, okay. And I was on the, not behind the bar, I was sitting in front of the bar. And I said, okay, well, can I have a drink? They refused to give me a drink. But he's like, no, he's still there. And I was like, okay, what is he doing? And we had the music running. And he's like, he's dancing to the music, Mom. Like, right on beat with whatever was playing. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're sitting there, we're dancing. And then he's like, okay, no, now there's another one behind the bar. And what the heck, and this is his expression. What the heck is he doing? Wait a minute, wait a minute. And it was just the funniest thing hearing his commentary. And he's like, he's making himself a drink. And I'm like, well, where's my drink? I want a drink. I'm thirsty. Well, never got my drink. But he's like, Mom, he's making himself a drink. He's stirring it. You can see him like putting stuff in it on the SLS camera. And then he's drinking it. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, well, what are they doing now? Now they're both dancing. And this one's got his leg up on the bar. I'm like, what? This must have been going on for like a half an hour, if not longer. And we're just sitting there laughing. But yeah, that was the best experience we've had in the basement of what they call the speakeasy.
Yeah, I know. I know definitely if you have the period time music playing there, for people that are listening, if you ever make a trip over to Whitehill Mansion, and if you ever investigate it, whether it's, I know they do, I think they do events, I think it's around Halloween, or even if you try to go out for a public event, or even if you know people for a private, or if you bump into people that do privates and if they invite you along, I definitely recommend going there. But going back to what I was saying, is if you play time period music down there, you will get quite a bit of activity. Um, at least both of the times we played time period music down there when we were there for both of the times. I know we did the basement two different times. I think I don't think we were down there at the same time, but the first time though we were using the mag lights and we had the music going on, and it was just constant with the mag light. Just the one mag light was just constantly going on, and we even had a REM pod laid out and made the REM pod go off a couple times. We even had cat balls laid out by the bar too, because it's kind of like how you said, Linda, where you guys were kind of using it as, hey, if you make yourself a mixed drink, can you make something go off? Or we were kind of using that as a trigger object because we really didn't have a REM pod or anything to go along for the trigger whole aspect of it. So we just use a cat ball for that, but we put like an empty glass near it, and yeah, it would just go off. Cat balls would just go off at times, and it wasn't on command, but it was just you frequently see them go off, and it's like the music would be playing. But yeah, it was always good activity down there. So when you were down there though, did you ever feel anything in the basement, like in like kind of like keeping us distance away somewhere in the basement?
Over by the table where they would be playing cards.
Okay.
I felt like there was always somebody lurking over there, but wouldn't come out and make himself known.
I had the same feeling both of the times I was there. Um, you get the feeling that somebody is watching, but like how you said, they don't want to come out and really interact much. They really don't. Now that might have changed over the years because I don't remember last time I was there. I think last time I was there it might have been 2021. I think I'm not even sure. I would have to look back. So 2021 or 2022 was the last time I was there. I know we did 2 years back to back. So like I said, the activity might have changed over the course of the past 4 or 5 years. But from the time of us being there, though, that's the stuff I encountered, especially down there in the basement with the feeling and with all that kind of stuff going on. Um, and it sounds like you were kind of you to me were having the same thing there, Linda. When you guys were there with John next the past year or so, you guys were having the same stuff going on, still there in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
So goes to show that whatever's there really likes to interact with
Yes.
with the music and interact in different ways with making different pieces of equipment go off. Obviously, being kind of funny too in the sense of putting the leg up on the bar and stuff, trying to dance
And
with it. So
he must have been making himself some really good drinks.
that must be really strong, really strong.
But I've
Yeah.
never had any luck at the table with cards. Have you?
I would have to look back on the video. I don't think we really tried anything over at the table. I know we tried over at the bar because we put a
Okay.
cap all out and we put two cards down. Because I'm not sure if it was you, but somebody let us borrow a deck of cards. It might have been you.
I was going to say I always have a deck of cards on in my equipment box.
Yeah, I need to pick up a deck and keep it with. But I know one of the investigators um, that were on my team actually was like, "Hey, you know what? Why don't we play cards?" I said, "All right." I think he hopped behind the bar actually, and there was three of us sitting out. Well, I actually think we were sitting. We were more so standing. Acting like we were sitting at the bar, and he was flipping them over, and we were acting like we were playing cards as well as having a drink. So we had it laid out like that, but that's where we had the cat balls going off too.
Okay.
We had one. So pretty much when he would deal it, he would do one on the back, one, 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 because there was four of us, and he wouldn't even deal himself one. He would just kind of like go around in order, and pretty much we'd have a cat ball right there by where the one behind the bar was, and we'd always use that ball as a hit or stay. If you want to hit, make the ball go off. If you want to stay, don't make the ball go off. And normally it's like, okay, well, we were playing blackjack. It was kind of like the quickest, easiest way
Mhm.
to do it. So it's like, all right, well, it's like, all right, well, you're at least a 10. There's a 10 showing. You might have a 9 underneath. Do you want to hit? And it'll go off. Throw down another card and it'll be another 10. And just like, no, it's like, it's like you might have lost. It's like you definitely lost on that one, probably. Flip it over. It's nope. Yep, you busted. You hit like 30 or 32 or whatever it was. It's like, yeah, you're done. But no, they're just all in good times though, and there's just all good activity. You know, there's some locations when you go into and you're like, no, that activity I don't really want to. It's like, do we want to talk about that activity or just no? But,
No, I don't know what you mean.
right? I wonder. Uh,
What about the bathroom? Have you had any experiences in the bathroom with the tub?
so I never had a chance to really investigate in the bathroom. Closest I investigated to the bathroom was the room next to it. Um, Part of that was because one of my investigators was sitting in the bathtub, and when he was in the bathtub, we were kind of using him as bait. Don't know why he always had a fascination with sitting in bathtubs. We went to well, there was like two other locations that we went to, and every time he sees a bathtub, he has to hop in it for some reason. Don't know why.
You have to.
I mean, some people have to, I guess. I mean, me personally, I didn't. I never wanted to test it out because I'm like, if I go in there, I might have a
Really?
hard time getting back up. So,
I think there's
or
been
getting out.
one bathtub out of all the places I investigated in that we were allowed to go into, bathtubs and sit in stuff and go in stuff. I think there is one that I totally refuse to go in.
Really?
Yes. All the
Hmm.
other ones I've been in.
You're gonna have to tell me about that next
Closets,
episode because I'm really
closets,
curious.
crawl spaces, you name it, in them.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that one that you're just saying that you wouldn't go into. That's why I was saying I want to hear about after the episode's over because I'm really curious because it could be another location that we could talk about later on at some point
I
this year. but
Yeah, it'll probably be a location that we're going to be talking up.
okay, okay.
But yeah, I have no problems going in bed closets, crawl space,
I
tub.
I draw the line as if I'm going into a crawl space or if I'm going into a closet, am I going to be able to get in and out of it at a decent accessible rate? Like hence, let's say you tell me, hey, I got to crawl into a crawl space that's behind, like like the size of the photo that's behind my head, like this photo right here. You're gonna say, hey, you're no, that's not going to happen. No,
Well, I have
I'm
to
not going to be
fit
able to
in
get
it.
in and out. Right, right. But I mean, like, I'm just using that as an example. I'm not going to be able to get in and out of it in relatively fast manner. If something would happen, I'm going to be a little screwed. So it's like I have a fine line of that kind of stuff right there. Maybe if I was a little bit, on the
Yeah,
thinner
well, I
side,
have to
sure.
fit in and out of it. I'm not going to get
Yes,
stuck.
true. I can picture that right now. Somebody just, yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. I'm going to a crawl space, going with equipment. Oh crap, I can't get out. Help, help. It's like that'd be
Yeah,
somebody's nightmare
which,
right there.
okay, at another location, I know we're talking about Whitehill, but I was at another location. We were investigating during the day. We were just on a day tour. Um, the spirits there politely told me that I was not going to fit through this one area because I was too fat. I kid you
I mean,
not.
at least they were polite about it, and they didn't say no way you're not fitting in there. Like they put like
I got
that
told I
kind of
wasn't. I mean, it
mentality.
was small. It was small.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to squeeze my way back. And I was told that I wasn't going to fit. I was too fat for that area. So I politely thanked them so I wouldn't get stuck and came back out.
See, I would be in the same. I'd be in the same boat. I'd be like, "Thank you for letting me know," so I don't get jammed in there, don't get
Yeah.
stuck.
We had a good laugh about it.
You have to. You have to in that kind of nonsense. That kind of sense. You have to. There's looking out for your best interest.
Yeah. But yeah, I never had anything really happen in the bathtub at Whitehill. Um I know the one time we were investigating with you and your old group, um I was somewhere upstairs, but not near the bathroom in the second floor. Timmy and another investigator were in the bathroom and at the hallway right at the bathroom. And all of a sudden, you hear a scream from one of the investigators. And oh my God. And then, like, footsteps running. So I remember it was me on the second floor, and I think there was somebody else on the second floor investigating at different spots. We both go running towards them, and we're like, what, I'm thinking they saw a creature, a bat, something, because of the scream. And I don't know which one screamed because Timmy screamed, so I can't say it wasn't him or was him. Um, and we were like, what's going on? What's the matter? And they're like, no, we just had somebody run up on us. So we hightailed it out of there. And I'm like, okay. I look at the other investigator and I was like, well, it wasn't me because I was in the other, like, not even close. And he's like, no, I was back in the other side. And they're like, no, it was a spirit that was running up on us. And I'm like, okay, well, me being, well, why did you run? They're like, well, we thought the spirit was chasing us. Okay, again, why did you run? And I'm looking at my son saying this, not the other
Right.
investigator. I'm like, yo, dude, why'd you run? He's like, because we were being chased. Again, why'd you run?
It's like a lot of investigators would have loved to have that kind of experience happen to them. It's like why'd you scram? Like you should have stayed put. Hi, how are you? Like try to have a conversation, like something.
Which
That's
I
actually
was
how my
trying.
brain goes with it.
which I was trying to do that to him to calm him down
Right.
because it really did spook them, and you can tell it spooked them.
Oh, I definitely know because when I heard that, I was up on the third floor and I came kind of not running down, but I came down relatively fast. And I left a lot of equipment upstairs on the third floor at the time. And yeah, the people I was up there investigating with, they were like, you going down? And I was like, yeah, I was like, I think I heard somebody on my team scream. I said, I'm not sure if it was one of my investigators that was on my team, but I just heard somebody scream.
Yeah, it
And
was pretty loud to scream.
yeah, it was. Went down to check and found out it's the same thing that Linda's saying about two investigators. They got pretty much spooked by something running up at them. And to verify, there was another one of my team's investigators. Well, one of my former team's investigators that they were down there on the same spot with you as well. So I know there was two of mine down there with you and Timmy when that happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm not making fun of anybody that runs because we all have those moments. I was trying to do that just to get their mind off of getting run up on. Like, yo, what are you doing? You know, just something to reset their mind, or at least my son's mind. So he could focus on, okay, let's go back. Let's go back what really happened. So then we all went to where they were, and obviously the spirit was having a good laugh.
Right. Yeah, and like how I was saying before too, is most investigators would love to have that kind of experience, just because of the fact of, that's what we're kind of investigating for. We're investigating to get different experiences that many people won't get. I'm not saying, how Linda said, don't run. If you have to run and move, to get yourself going out of the area, yes, do that and then get yourself to a safe area. But yeah, you kind of just got to just reset your mind at times when something like that happens. I had somebody at a different location have to step away from a location to reset their mind, just because of something that happened there. It kind of caught them off guard in that sense too. So they had to do the same thing at a different facility, well, different location in general. But
I mean, it happens. We've all gotten spooked. We've all, either run out of a building or quickly walked out of the area. We all have to do that. But I know my son, so that's why I was kind of making it into a joke with him. And he probably would have done the same thing. Like, Mom, really, what are you doing? You never run. What are you running from? So that's kind of how we kind of play off each other and kind of get us to reset. I mean, he's run out of a lot of places before. A lot of places. Throwing socks off, throwing shoes off,
Oh, yep.
So by no means am I making fun of anybody that needs to run out of location, because my son has done it. Literally running out of the location, throwing his shoes off, throwing his socks on the ground, running across the street. So by no means am I making fun of anyone. It's just the way we help reset our minds and to recenter ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do gotta say, looking back at when Timmy did that with the socks off and the shoes off, is pretty entertaining to think of it.
So you know what? You got to do what you got to do to reset and reground yourself. I mean, I run out of a building once. I ran out of somewhere once because I was the only person in the spot. I had a recorder and I had a video running, and I got something thrown at me.
Oh.
And it grazed like the top of my head. And yes, that spooked the crap out of me. So yes, I did run out of the place. I actually ran through the woods trying to find the other investigators I was with.
Oh.
I kid you not. Literally was running through the woods trying to find a living person. Couldn't find anybody. I don't know where they disappeared to. I went back to where it was and confronted the spirit. And I'm like, you know what? I've never done that. I'm not doing that again. I know you're not trying to do me harm. You're just grumpy and you want me out of your space. But guess what? I'm not going. We need to figure out what you need, what your issue is, so you can stop doing this. But yes, so we've all run out of places at one time or another.
Yeah, or you a speed walk away from
Yes.
from the area that you were just in. Yeah. Now I could say I don't think I've ever ran out of a place, but yeah, I did speed walk out of maybe one or two places that, and again, and it really wasn't just something caught up on me. It was something was affecting somebody else in the area or somebody else on the investigation. And it's more so you're walking to keep up with them to get them out of whatever danger and everything else on those lines.
Yes.
Your safety falls into line of their safety and your safety are always number one, especially when there's something going on that's reflecting on either you or the other person or however many people you're with. Let's say you're with a group of 5 people. If one of the 5 people is having something affect them in a negative way, your number one safety is to get the person out of that facility and away from the area. If it's just one big area, get them out of the area. If it's a
Hmm.
huge facility, and when I say facility, I mean like some places that we go to for investigating wise are huge. Like some of them are
Yes, they
prisons,
are.
some of them are multiple buildings.
Hmm.
So when I say facility, I mean places that are huge outside of just the size of a house. If it's the size of a house, you can take the person outside. Just for your safety and that person's safety, take them outside the house. Even if you got to just walk across the street, walk them across the street. Just try to debrief everything. Just think of safety and that precaution
Hmm.
of when you're doing some of this stuff.
And we've had to do that multiple different times to different people.
Hmm.
People have had to do it to me. I remember one of my very first, um, God, not very first, but close to getting into investigating and really, really digging in. We were at a cemetery and I just started sobbing uncontrollably. And the other investigators we were with, um, he was doing everything to get me out of it. And we walked out of the cemetery, and the first thing he told me was, "Look up at the moon. If you're outside, look up and just focus on the stars, the moon, the something." And as soon as I did that, the sobbing stopped.
Hmm. That's really weird how that happened. Like how it just stops just by looking up at the movie.
So it's just a distraction. And whether you need to do a serious, distraction or something humorous, anything to get that person refocused.
Absolutely, and it keeps them and yourself safe as well, and that sort.
But yeah, at least at Whitehill, I don't think anybody's really. I mean, they run out of the area, but I don't think anybody's really run out of the building at
No,
Whitehill. And
no,
again, it's nothing, negative. I think the spirit wanted to have some fun
right.
and
Oh yeah.
see if they could get a reaction, and that spirit definitely did.
Especially out of 2 people, which I'm sure they were like,
Yes.
yes. They're like double, yes.
I mean, you have to figure the spirits, I mean, they, depending upon the place, especially Whitehill gets investigated a lot. You figure they have to have some fun too.
Right.
They get asked the same things. What's your name? Are you male, female? How did you die? When did you die? Are you of this era? Are you of that era? What were you doing here? It's all the same questions they get asked over and over. So, yeah, I'm sure they need to spice up, their entertainment.
Always,
I mean, I
always.
would.
Hmm. I mean, to be fair, I would too.
I mean, you're getting asked the same questions over and over with, yeah, it's different people, different ways of investigating, but when you come down to it, it's pretty much all the same stuff.
Hmm.
Most of the people have all the same equipment, most of the same questions. You might throw in a couple new questions here and there, but you figure the spirits, some of them are over it and they
Right.
just want to be entertained and they're going to figure out how to entertain themselves.
True. And it's like, especially like how you said, when the same questions come up at times, because a lot of those locations, like how you were saying, a lot of them they get the same questions asked back to back, day in and day out, compared to some of the locations where they're not as heavy
Mhm.
investigated. Where, okay, let's say one location's been investigated 5 times, compared to a place that's been investigated for several hundreds times to a few thousand times, or however many times it's been. Place with the 5 or 6 times, you're probably going to get probably a little bit of the, they're going to be, okay, hey, you know what, this is still kind of new to us. We're still responding in that sort of
Mhm.
the same way. Yes, but they're going to try to just spice it up and try to have a good time. Yes, because, let's be real. If you're alive, having a good time when you're alive, you're going to want to do the same thing when you pass. You're going to have, if you're a jokester when you're alive, sure, you're going to be a jokester when you pass.
Mhm.
That's just how it is. There's been a lot of stuff being said on that kind of stuff. Is like, hey, if you're grumpy when you're alive, when you pass, you might be a grumpy spirit when you pass. Not saying that's going to happen, but it could. Same thing as if
Right.
you're a jokester.
Absolutely. And I've never encountered anything at Whitehill that really truly scared me, or I thought otherwise that they just weren't, positive, happy spirits.
Hmm.
And
Same
that's
here.
another place that we're talking about potentially going back to because it's been a hot minute since we've been there.
Yes, yes, yes. It has. Yes, it has been. And it's one of those locations where, like I said, people, if you guys are open for a spot, definitely check it out. It's over in New Jersey. Not sure what part of the state you guys are all living in, everybody listening, but
What is it, Fieldsboro or something?
yep, yep, Fieldsboro,
I
New
think.
Jersey.
Yeah, it's literally right across the bridge when you go all the way up 95.
Yep.
But I do know they host a ton of public events. I believe they even do a type of Paracon there.
Yeah, they started that up, I think, a couple years back, I think.
Yeah. I know one of the pages I follow, what is it, G Ghost Official with the little ghost buddy.
Oh, okay.
You have you ever seen that?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
They have this little
That's why I was in the look.
I guess like paper cutout ghost that's only about yay big,
Okay.
and they're over there all the time doing private and public investigations.
Oh.
Yeah,
Huh.
I follow them on Facebook.
Eh.
Yeah, so there's tons of stuff going on at Whitehill if you don't want to do it your own private.
So there you guys go for all the listeners. Linda just gave you guys a little inside scoop on where you guys could get some tickets. If you guys want to do a public.
Yeah, I believe it's G Ghost LLC. You'd be able to find it because their main thing is the little ghost buddy. He's famous. He probably has his own page.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure he does.
Yeah, apparently they were at the Paracon in Jersey, and I didn't know that they were there, or else I would have hunt them down and got a picture with G Ghost.
Now, have you ever been over to that Paracon before?
Whitehill? No, I have
Yeah.
not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, no, I have not. I don't go to too many Paracons.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, no, I've never been to the Paracon. I've never been on a public investigation over there. I just know that they do have them. Um, so it's something if you're looking for something to do, or if you don't want to do a private investigation. I don't know too much about it. I just know that they do them.
And that's always a good piece of reference, though, for people to check into. Especially if they don't want to do their own private. There's publics going on there.
Yeah, I personally don't do that many publics, only because it's my preference not to. Not that there's anything wrong with them. I just try not to because of my own personal experiences and preferences.
Right. Yeah, it has its pros and cons with doing any kind of publics. They all do.
Yes. Yeah. But it is nice sometimes because it is cheaper than doing a private sometimes.
It is.
But it's a different experience, that's for sure.
Yes, it is.
But
And I think for people that do private to public and vice versa, you definitely get to see the difference. You get to see the different sides of the way how public is and the way how private is. So you,
and you also get different experiences through different investigators and how they investigate.
yeah,
Because yes, we all pretty much have the same equipment. We all have the same, for the most part, the same questions, but how we go about it is different. But yeah, Whitehill will probably have to eventually go back to and see what else we can gather. Maybe we can have a card game going in the speakeasy.
I mean, we got to set it up. We have to. That'll be a really good time. So I just want to piggyback off that for everybody that's listening. If you have not checked out the episode, we did an episode last year on season 3. We had Kyle from
Mm-mm.
Whitehill Mansion on our podcast. So if you guys did not have a chance to check out that episode, it's available on Spotify and Apple. So make sure you just give it a listen to. He
Are
could
you
he gives.
sure it's on Spotify?
I'll double check. Now you're gonna be double checking here.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Hey, you
It,
beat me
it
to it.
it is on Spotify, season 3, episode 5, Whitehill
There you go.
Mansion. It was March 16th, 2025. I
There
was
you
only
go.
double checking because Spotify's been funny with Brandon's podcasts. So just wanted to make sure it was up there and still up there.
Appreciate that.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I think that's pretty much all I have about Whitehill.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, if we
Yeah.
go back there later on this year, we'll do a recap episode to let everybody know with what we find. So,
But it's
um,
always a good time at Whitehill. I don't
yes, it
think
is.
Whitehill has ever disappointed us. I mean, it might not always be continuous activity, but it's always some type of memorable activity.
Yes. There's always activity that sticks with you from that place. It's not just, hey, let's say you see the cow ball go off once. Okay. No, there's going to be more to it. Like how we said, if you do the time period music, you're going to see something go off with it. It's that kind of memorabilia stuff that you're going to most possibly encounter. Not guaranteed, but either that or you'll have somebody run up on you on the second floor.
Or if you have a single young male, throw them in the bordello.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. You'll definitely have a good time using that person as bait. But on a serious note, though, guys, thank you guys for listening and for having, following us and subscribing to whether it's our channel or whether it's our page. Um, Thank you guys for doing that. And please stay tuned for the next one. We had a little bit of a hiccup with the first episode, but I think I got it kind of squared away now. So everything should be going in that forward direction of you guys could find our episodes a lot easier and better. And also, too, make sure if you have not checked out our previous episodes, and we're going to be dropping on YouTube probably the next couple months. We'll be having our episodes on videos as well on YouTube, so you can watch it on YouTube as well as listen to on Apple or Spotify. So thank you, everybody.
If you have any questions, hit us up. We'll try to answer them as best we can.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.